14 games, 9 individual unique victors, and a whole bunch of points gained as well as lost, and it all comes down to this. This is going to be the 15th and final round of the ZOWIE DIVINA Women's Invitational PUBG Tournament here in Shanghai, China, and it is still all but decided. There are 3 people potentially in a position to take the top spot. My name is Cameron Davis, and I'm joined for the final game, once again, by Esquire and Garrett. Gentlemen, a lot is on the line here. $15,000, $5,000 of which goes to first place. And I'm going to reiterate this. It is close.
Very close. Some of us were looking at the hidden leaderboards that haven't been revealed yet. No spoilers. But yeah, it's going to be a pretty crazy game, number 15.
It's going to be even crazier if we actually see circles and even more different spots, because comparison to yesterday, we are getting it's basically a new part of the map every single game, and I really hope that it continues down that track. But the new scoreboard is up. Sunny was able to reclaim her top spot after her 5th place finish last game, and it's by a chunk. It's not a super small one. It's not too large either. And then Charlie in second with 1123, Ting in third with 1,016. It's a gap between second and third. But we've seen Charlie as well as Sunny go out early in these games, and Ting has been on fire today. So it's these 3 especially. Everything can change up here.
And here's the big takeaway, right? Maybe even before, obviously before this match on day 2, day 1, what you needed to do to get that first, second, third place was pretty much speculation. But now the landscape is set. All 3 of these players, Sunny, Charlie, and Ting, know exactly the type of performance they need, exactly what they need their competitors to do to fall out to allow them that opportunity to get that first place.
We can go back onto those players in just a short while, but I do also want to put some focus on the fact that the top 8 is where all the money is. It goes down to $1,000 for 8th place, and that's not even that decided. Look at 8, but the difference between 8th and 9th is very close, and it stays close from there on out. You can argue that you can be as low as 13th or 14th and still have a shot in the top 8 depending on how you do. But because it's still yet decided, a lot of the attention this final game is going to be on Sunny, on Charlie, and on Ting.
For sure. And also, we've been talking a little bit more about it today. Don't count out necessarily Lizzie as well, because even though she can't get first or second, she can make that jump and get to 3rd place as well. She hasn't got a win yet. We'd like to see that. She's just been very consistent.
That's true. You're right. We shouldn't basically assume that even Ting is going to be able to maintain that 3rd spot, because she has had a very good day, but as we've seen with Charlie and Sunny, that doesn't always maintain through every single game. So as much as Ting has an opportunity to get second and, God forbid, maybe even first, she also could still flounder and give up her 3rd place position to Lizzie.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly right. And we always talk about it. I mean, we have been harping on it. Top 8 gets paid out, but only top 3 get those beautiful bronze, silver, and gold medals. And top 1, our first place finisher of the entire tournament, walks away with that incredible ZOWIE DIVINA trophy.
What are we going to expect from this final game, though, by these top 3, maybe even 4 players, Garrett? How are these players going to play individually? Sunny in the lead, Charlie, the more aggressive of the 2, very close behind in 2nd place, but then Ting, who's been on fire this entire day. What are we expecting for this final game?
It would be awesome to see a player like Ting find where Sunny would end up landing, but Sunny's been doing the smart thing in this tournament and going anywhere she would like. The only one that's been consistent with it has been Charlie, so maybe if Ting wants to play a little more towards Charlie, try to cut her off and guarantee yourself maybe a 2nd position, you can see that. But ultimately, I think it's going to be pretty standard along the board, because you don't know where Sunny's going to land, and she's the one at the top. That now Ting has to rely on getting some help from the fellow competitors in order to take her out early and give herself a chance to get 1st place and some kills in order to overtake Sunny.
Just thinking about the run-in between all 3 of those players, because it was actually very special to see that last game. It was like Charlie and Sunny facing off with each other, and then Ting coming in third-partying that in deadly fashion against Charlie. So I don't think it's certainly fair to say that came from result of the circle, where it took us, how it directed these players, because Sunny, she always likes to go center as she can, and then, of course, Charlie even though she pushes aggressively, she's not always dead center. She actually does like to sit around the ridges and kind of pick off people who are coming in. But just the way the circle went, it did push her into Sunny's position. And Ting as well, running all over the place. I can't imagine that they're going to be interacting in that same way, depending on where the circle is.
And a fun way about that interaction that gets underplayed a lot is the fact that when you're in that situation, you don't actually know who you're fighting against. So like Charlie has no idea that the initial battle she had was against Sunny. Ting doesn't know that when she's lining up that sniping shot on Charlie, who it is. So it's kind of fun to know that that part of the game still applies, and it makes it more interesting that they have no idea who they're going up against.
Yeah, you always have to assume whoever you're going up against is the top competitor in the lobby. Never underestimate your opponent.
I honestly don't know what to expect from this.
A lot of things can happen.
Anything and everything can happen. I think this is compared to a lot of other events that I've seen, could still change more so. But here we are about to enter the final game of the event, round 15.
That's exactly right, Cameron. Thank you very much. My name is Esquire, joined here by GRT for what Cameron has said, and he is exactly right. The final game of the ZOWIE Divina tournament, 14 games in the making, all on the line now here in the final moments of the tournament. And with that, the plane path coming out of the northeastern side of Sanok, taking a very nice angle, possibly, dare I say it, the most neutral plane path that we have seen of the event.
That's exactly what I was going to say. You stole it from my mouth. This is literally the most perfect thing you can have. Anyone can go anywhere they want. So now it's going to be where is the top three going to land, including Lizzie, actually. Sorry to say that, but the top three, where they're going to land is going to be interesting to see. Charlie does look like she's going back to her bread and butter of Pai Nan. It's all going to come down to Sunny. And if she gets contested early, that's the only way you can really see Ting coming out on top here.
Yeah, eyes are going to be on the kill feed. Everyone will be watching very attentively, trying to make sure that they know what they have to do. They know when they're going to have to put that pressure on to try to rake up those points, try to do whatever they can to get to the leaderboards.
And something interesting now, we haven't seen a Southeast circle so far in this tournament. And now everyone is going towards the Southeast on this drop, and now we get an early fight between Smile and Rocket in the northern warehouses of Bootcamp.
Smile Queen going to be wrapping around the warehouse, playing this very aggressively. She's got the AKM prepped and ready, able to put out a ton of damage on top of Rocket, dropping her down to about 25 HP as she continues to try to hide behind these crates inside of the warehouse. Smile Queen going to be disengaging off of this. A smart move, opting not to push inside. A little bit too dangerous. Not giving up just yet.
Yeah, playing Ring Around the Rosie. Rocket has no heals, but there was a juice on the ground for her to get CC at the... Oh, that's a big kill for her because she is one of those players that are in the top, around the top 8 that wants to make that jump and potentially get more money than the 5th to 8th places. But either way, CC getting the early kill there is going to be huge for her. But look at this circle. I've wanted a Southeast circle to end up on this map so far in this tournament. It hasn't happened. Could this be the game?
Well, asking you shall receive, Garrett. We are going to be going down south, but will it continue in that direction? Also, someone going to be going docks as well, but we'll see that later in the game, whether or not it pays off. Bootcamp still going to be pretty lit. A lot of players congregating towards that area, as Helen now going to be working her way up to this compound. You already looting up inside. She's got the UMP prepped and ready, and if she continues to watch these angles, she might see Helen running up. But no, Helen going to be diverting off of this path, opting to go to the compound nearer to the water.
Yeah, these two players are actually really close to each other on the leaderboard. It would have been fun to see them engage early in this game because how close they are on the leaderboard. Either way, Helen electing to find some more loot, but she is within striking distance if the circle gives them the chance to move out and actually fight each other. But now we're going to find ourselves back in Bootcamp where, once again, a lot of the Pittsburgh Knight players end up here. And again, a lot of engagements with Pauly always taking the lobster side of the Bootcamp.
Yeah, and usually you find more aggressive players. Matt's going to be vaulting in, though, onto the first floor of this building. Kira hears the footstep, prepped and ready, going to be spotting out Maxon with the M16 shots. Takes her down and out in 46th position here in the final game of the tournament.
Mass has had a rough tournament. That's an unfortunate way to end the tournament overall. She's a very aggressive player and likes to play in a position like Bootcamp where aggressive players do like to drop in just overall casual pubs. But unfortunately, running into a compound where someone's hiding and waiting for you, not the way you want to go out.
Yeah, absolutely not the way you want to go out, but certainly it is PUBG. People are going to be dropping left and right, and it will not be stopping here in the 15th game, the final game of the ZOWIE DIVINA PUBG Invitational. As Helen continues on, able to find some nice AKM connections on top of Yamroll. Continuing on this path, Helen, she's already won games so far in the tournament, but she needs to continue on trying to rack up as many points as possible because, like you said, Garrett, if you can walk home with a few $100 extra in your pocket, that is not chump change.
And Smile Queen taking the round path here, leaving the compound and going around, but Rockette is not able to get spotted, but she gets the shots off on Charlie. Stuck with the iron sight of the AK is very difficult, but it is one of people's favorite sight to have. If you're going to go iron, you might as well go with it. The AK. Smile decides just to continue running and not take the engagement. Either way, we're going to leave that compound. CC, though, this is actually a big battle between Miss Gucci and CC.
Yeah, this is Miss Gucci inside of the building. She hears the footsteps of CC, but CC very investigative. She's going to be popping open the door very intelligently right there, trying to bait out any shots from the door opening. Now going to be closing it and leaving that area entirely. Possibly saw something inside there, loot being picked up. Looked a little bit too suspicious for her to continue on, and that's going to force Miss Gucci now saying, get back here. Where are you? Can I get a line of sight? And no, she's not going to be able to. So not a bad reset for both of these players.
Yeah, CC electing not to go in. Just why bother if you feel like there's someone in there to open that door to check like that? You know no one's across the building, but you have the hard left and rights of the corners that potentially people could be hiding and you want to be aware of.
Saki going to be sending it on the scooter right now. CC laying out some shots, but she's going to be third party down by the M416 of Little Big Whale, picking up her first kill here of the game, dropping CC out in 43rd place.
That's a big thing to happen right now. CC was in the top 8, and now all the other competitors have a chance to leapfrog her and push her out of the money. We're going to see if they're going to be able to do that, but now the blue is moving in. We're going back to the boot camp. Once again, Hella, the one that likes to play aggressive, ending up being the one who's going to be playing passive.
And she's going to see that door open inside of the building, knowing full well that Smile Queen has entered into this area with some nicely placed shots from the AKM. That is going to be Smile Queen's bread and butter gun, now turning against her. A nice headshot from Hella, taking her out.
Some much-needed points by her. Bootcamp's getting a little quiet now. Dabby, one of the players trying to get into that top 8, looking at the bridge. He is pretty far away from the circle, but again, elected not to take the vehicle and down the river all the way through to the circle. Going to run it in, Little Big Whale by the Query. No one around to contest, but if you get a chance to look at the next circle, we're going to have Sunny, Charlie, and Ting all are basically almost dead center within the circle. Charlie elected to go on the other side of the river of Painan. But again, that's one of the easier places of the river to cross without being contested too much. But Sanson is a potential player who can ruin Charlie's bid for getting that first place because now she's gone back to where she likes to land, and that could be a problem for Charlie if she tries to cross the river.
Certainly. Speaking about problems, Lizzie going to be lining herself up on the opposite side of the road of Mathia right now. Mathia has the SLR prepped and ready, but Lizzie is ready to shred through the armor of her opponent with that micro Uzi should their paths cross. Certainly close enough to where we can almost anticipate it happening. But for the meantime, continuing to watch these lines of sight out of the window, being very careful not to give away too many audible cues.
Mathia, one of those players that like to go in the compounds and hide in that bathroom. Unfortunately, not in the building that has such things to do. Roxy running through the opening here, no one to engage. It's pretty so far. 4 have gone down, but this, I dare to say, this has been a relatively quiet final game so far. The shift of the circle coming in. And finally, I get what I've always wanted, a southeast circle. Mama T was wrong, as her we were talking to, predicted that we were going up to hot.
Listen,
hot
Mama T never wrong, all right? Mama T never wrong.
Unfortunately, today she is. Shout out to her. Tarn's going to have a long way to go to get into that circle. But either way, finally, how fitting is it? The final circle of the final day is going to be in an area that has not been taken yet in these final games. So kind of curious how everyone's going to play it, but again, the top players are relatively in safe positions in the circle.
Here we have another visitor over to Miss Gucci's building, taking a page out of the book of the previous player that came up here, opening the door, trying to bait out the shots. Now inside, not going to be able to spot her out, and Miss Gucci capitalizes on that opportunity, spraying down Little Big Whale with the AKM.
Miss Gucci trying to climb up that leaderboard, getting some much-needed kills as well. She went down pretty early that previous game, and they put her in danger of losing out of the top money there. Paleolite taking a fight with Rachel. Rachel getting the better of that. Speaking of players that we wanted to do well, unfortunately she had a rough tournament. Paleolite going down early again in this game. electing to build off the experience into the future events. But either way, Rachel getting a much needed kill. Going back to the rock and proning game, as always, we are in a position on the map where there are a lot of these in play in comparison to some other areas. But either, like, again, now the fun part of this circle is the river that's in play, because right now it's not safe to necessarily bet on what side you want to go to. By playing yourself in a position where you can make that transition is going to be key.
Yeah, and another thing implicated in this southeastern circle, a circle we're not used to seeing, as my two going to be spotting out this boat transition from Yelena. Very exposed right there on the coast, but opting to be very patient and not take the shots just yet. Doesn't want to give away the audible cues, possibly risk giving away her position to another enemy threat inland just a little bit. It's going to be Sminty in that direction. But like I was saying, Garrett, there are a few other things implicated here. A new zone, a new area of the map that we haven't been to in the course of now 14 games previously played out before this game itself, the final game of the tournament. How well does Sunny know this area? How well does Majesty Charlie know this area? They said they know the map pretty well, but we haven't been able to test that knowledge yet.
Yeah, it's fair to say they got to have the knowledge for exactly where they would like to go. But in the end, because you haven't been there so far in this tournament, maybe it's just you're not comfortable. You're not feeling how you would like to go in. You've been so comfortable with the northern part of this map that now you're in unfamiliar territory. Methia taking down Lizzie. But as I was saying, unfamiliar territory, and that's going to be the biggest threat to these top three players going forward, because now they're in a position that they haven't been in so far in this tournament.
Exactly right, as the blue zone now starts to shrink in on phase number 2. Mai going to be throwing some grenades inside of the building where Sminty is hiding. A Molotov going to be coming out around the left side of the building near May, forcing her to zone her off of that direction as Sminty tries to rotate out the outside of the building, vaults outside, but both May and herself are going to be peeking the same border of this compound, and May going to be rolling around now in hot pursuit of where her enemy opponent will be lying. Wrapping around now the right side of the building once again. Smithy going to be taking a peek, misses her shots, but certainly going to be giving away her position as Mai tries to reset this as well, trying to get the drop on her opponent, but is not yet able to get it as they continue on here in this bit of an engagement, trying to reset this as much as possible. But Sminty wrapping around the right side of the building. It's only a matter of time. She's going to be spotted out, sprays down, and able to find the connection on top of May with the QBZ.
Amazing control to get those shots taken on initially and being able to swing across and win that trade. Terran taking out Karina. Terran, again, we now look where she is on the map. She had to find a vehicle to find a way into a better position. She took the long way around. We're going to see a lot of kilometer usage out of her. And here's the fun part that I want to see is the cave. Now we finally get to see this be in play. And look at the new circle. It's going to be viable that potentially we can see this shift here in the final circles.
Absolutely, we might. The cave, the most unique area, dare I say, in all of PUBG. One of my favorite spots of the map, now going to be in play. Terran sent it with the Roni to get dead center, and now we're starting to see it pay off because phase number 3 will be encompassing this southern part of the map as Polly going to be looking on dangerously nearby to her opponent. Rocket up the hill, going to be peeking down. It's only a matter of time before she spots her now, going to be spraying her down, but the quick flick around comes out from Rocket with the M416 dropping Polly out in 35th place.
Rocket's been having a great day so far. Had a rough day 1 and 2, but again, now she's been finding herself a little bit higher in the placements, trying to end this tournament on a good note. Even though you're not going to be within the top 8, it's still good to end on a good note and have that feeling going forward to potential events or whatever it may be to get off on that good foot.
That's exactly right, as Jabby trying to get off on that good foot as well, trying to continue a solid performance throughout the tournament right now as she approaches Ting, one of our strong competitors here in this lobby up on the stage, the offline LAN qualifiers for the ZOWIE Divina event. It's absolutely insane here. How will Ting handle this? She only has a level 1 helmet. One nicely placed shot could be taking Ting down and out as she continues to peek around the outside of this door, knowing full well that enemies are approaching.
Ting definitely heard the footsteps of Dabby running around. Dabby spotting the head of her. This is a tricky engagement for Dabby to take. It might just be smart for her to bail out of it because you do not want to be entering these buildings on a solo game just for the fact that the angles to cover when you enter are just too risky, and Ting doesn't want to leave it and necessarily fight it, but at the same time, she does need the kill points if she wants to have a chance at first place, so she's going to have to find herself in situations where instead of, fight or flight, instead of leaving, she wants to take those kills, but at the same time, not go into a position too bad where she risks basically losing out on her placement points.
Yep, and that is exactly right. Sunny from Brazil going to be sending it right now in the motorcycle, trying to advance her own position inside of the circle as Majesty Charlie riding the riverbed underneath the bridge tries to land a shot onto Tanya Kakanya. Not able to make that shot. She will be rotating down the coastal line of this river, trying to get down into a safer spot, but nowhere on this side of the map, this western edge of circle number 3 is going to be safe for Majesty Charlie.
And Ting, unfortunately, goes out. We didn't get to see the battle, but that is going to be interesting for Lizzie. Now, she can't, because Ting went out, she can't get first or second, but Lizzie now is in a great position to leapfrog her and get third place.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Majesty Charlie as well going to be looking on. She saw the kill feed. She's going to be trying to do whatever she can here to make up this point differential to continue to secure a placement on the leaderboards. But Tanya is there to stop it. At least in her mind, she is spraying down, connecting time after time again on top of Majesty Charlie, dropping her down to 30 HP. But this is what we talked about. No matter what HP Charlie has, she's confident enough in her gun skill to take on the 1v1 situation. Spotting out Tanya on the left side of the rock, now retreating back to her own bit of cover to get that first aid going. But Tanya Kakanya going to be pushing up right now as Charlie abandons hope on that first aid around the right-hand side of the rock, sprays her down with the AKM.
That is a huge battle. You see the nerves of Majesty Charlie there. Having half HP, unable to get that heal off and still playing that aggressive is a huge play by her. And Sunny on the radar, you see her right beside, she's electing to just hide and chill because now she's waiting and waiting because there's no need to take these fights, but now we got the circle shifting towards the quarry. We haven't seen this yet either.
No, we have not. We talked about it earlier on in the tournament. The quarry is the most unique feature of Sanhok, and it is absolutely one of the hardest in-game circles to navigate. Wide open areas down inside of the quarry, and it forces you to have to maneuver those cliffs, try to take the best position possible, but at this point in time, it is anyone's game left here in the lobby. 30 players alive.
Sunny doing what she does best, find a new circle popping, and she gets herself well within range of the next circle. She does this all the time, going in early, but right now, Sanzin hears it and spots it. She can play the spoiler here. This is going to be a huge engagement.
Oh my God, takes the shot. Missing every shot with the barrel 7.62. Sunny now going to be fully alerted of this. Wrapping back to some cover on top of the hill. Sanson needs to be careful, but the shots come out. It's going to be Mamataso with the M16 taking out Sunny. The stars are aligning. Majesty Charlie has seen the kill feed. She saw Ting drop out. She saw Sunny drop out. And now it is absolutely her game to take away.
Charlie, I believe, needs 50 points in order to lead past Sunny, but right now she is playing this circle very late, and she's going to have to move in past Sanzin, and Rachel is behind her potentially to play spoiler. This is going to get very dangerous. Charlie is not safe out of the water yet.
She is absolutely not safe. This game is absolutely exciting. This is what we want as spectators of PUBG esports. Absolutely incredible. Everyone in this arena is tense, eyes on the screens, trying to figure out how this game will play out. And like I said, it's anyone's games as our final 27 players in this match start to at least work their way up here towards the north, towards this incredibly tricky quarry circle.
Rachel flanking Charlie right now, and Charlie's going to be running into Sanzin, who's playing passively inside the circle. This is going to be the engagement to be aware of. Charlie does not want to go near the cave because there's just too many variables that can happen that can take you out, and you do not want to take that risk. But look at Sanzin hiding behind that rock with Lele moving in. Charlie does hear this, and this could be a much-needed kill that she wants to get as well, because even if she doesn't get good placements, if she's able, I believe, to get 5 kills, she'll be able to overtake Sunny.
Grenade coming out, able to find the connections with the QBU on top of Lele, drops her out, but now Majesty Charlie will be under fire, able to use a bit of defilade this hillside in some trees to mask herself from the shots coming out from Sanson with the Vector, but she is taking a ton of damage. Grenade pressure now coming out from Sanson around the right side of the rock, dangerously nearby to Charlie, but doesn't find the damage, blocked by the line of sight of the rock, but the pressure is on. Charlie is feeling it, and she's got to be worried about all different angles of approach.
Stars aligned for Charlie. That nade was so on point, but catching the edge of the circle. But again, Sanzon's within. Majesty Charlie needs to move in on Sanzon. This is the one-on-one battle we are looking for. This could determine the game.
This could absolutely determine the game, but no, it's going to be Majesty Charlie once again, able to rack up her 3rd kill of the game with the AKM headshot on top of Sanson. Charlie continues to do whatever she can to rack up these much-needed points. You talked about it, Garrett, about 50 points separated her from that first-place position, and she is doing everything within her power to try to propel herself to that first-place slot.
All she needs to do now is survive a little bit longer while players take each other out. See, No Maya taking some shots. Again, look at this though. Calpan Nam hiding in the tower. We've seen this actually early in the tournament, someone doing this. Very unfortunate way to get killed, but again, it is pretty safe. But she's within the circle, but the blue is starting to move in, and she's going to be eating damage.
And how does she exit this sniper tower right now? Hearing the footsteps of Nonomiya now going to be popping up, trying to get the line of sight, a crate right below her, baiting out the shots right now. A few vector shots with the 45 ACP rounds, finding their connection. But now Nonomiya, she's trying to combat the blue zone damage, not able to do so. Calpan Nam in full pursuit, but with 1 HP, Nonomiya finds the connection with the M416.
And for every person that's getting eliminated now, Charlie is inching closer and closer to getting that top spot. All she needs to do is survive right now. Helen and Taryn are in the blue, eating the damage right now. Saki is playing nearby. We're going up into the quarry where Vendeka is taking a fight with Mathia. Mathia taking over that win there, but again, low on the HP, almost cratering on that drop.
And here's the thing, Mathia needs to worry about that blue zone creeping up on her back as well. Majesty Charlie in a fight. Also, the shots continue to ring out around the map as we are now working with the final 13 players of game number 5 of day 3, game number 15 of the entire tournament. Everyone now in a very tough position. Taryn going to be dropped out by Helen's M416 headshot. Now 12 players left. Majesty Charlie is still in the game.
Only 11 left right now. Again, like I just mentioned, every point matters right now. Charlie's just trying to stay alive, but look at this. Everyone is crowded in the eastern side of this map, but close enough in the circle. This is exactly the kind of thing Charlie needs right now, is all these players to make engagements while she can sit back and just hide and chill and just let the points rack up. She is dangerously close now to getting over that top spot.
Every player that drops out is more and more points from Charlie. She had 3 kills to her name, but the placement points are going to be coming up huge right now, playing this exactly how she needs to. Up on top of the hill, she's got the elevated position. It's really going to be down to what she can do here in the final moments of game number 5, but it is looking absolutely good for Majesty Charlie.
Yeah, that's for sure. And you see Charlie doing some uncharacteristic things of actually running away from fights because, again, surviving is what matters right now. It's Gucci down. Oh, we didn't get to see it, but that sounded, sorry, my voice there. I'm getting a little too excited. It sounded like an absolutely incredible shot. Matthew again taking out who was in the quarry earlier on in the round. Maipai taking some damage in the blue. May is still alive there. Kira playing the blue damage as well. Again, right now, this is the circle where it starts chunking a lot harder, and Charlie now running in and in danger of getting killed.
She's going to be creeping her way in, using that blue zone as her protector from that flank damage coming from behind. As Kira starts to work her way in, the blue zone damage too much, especially when you throw in the 5.56 rounds. And Majesty Charlie picks up her 4th kill of the game with nicely placed QBU shots on top of CC. Points on points on points. But Tume, she's got 6 kills. She's not stopping now. 5 players remaining in the final moments of the ZOWIE Divina tournament.
That should be good enough almost for the win, but the thing that we don't really remember right now is how many kills did Sunny actually have. I am unaware, so that is going to play a factor in the final places. But Miss Gucci, again, looking for her, potentially her 3rd win of this tournament. I believe only one other player who's been able to have that feat, but she's in the quarry, stuck down in a tricky position with the new circle popped.
20 seconds until the blue zone will start to shrink in on circle number 7. The final landscape being set for what has amounted to an absolutely insane final game of the tournament. All eyes are on Majesty Charlie. What can she do here? But we certainly have some very dominant players still in this top 5 position. We've got Shiyu, we've got Tume, we've got Eto, we've got Mamataso. It's insane. Miss Gucci as well.
Tume, Shiyu, and Gucci are all around the same parts of the standings as well. You know, here's maybe the potential, the crawl coming in here, the blue moving in. Got to make a move relatively soon. Everyone's taking their time. Miss Gucci's in an awkward position as well in the quarry, unable to get out of that situation. Mamastasso coming over towards the two players who are prone. This can get dangerous.
On the opposite side of this wall, Eto is going to be hearing this movement coming out from Mamataso, opting not to move herself, just rotating on that pivot point, not giving away any audible cues to her enemy as phase number 8 will pop. This is the final circle of the game after the blue zone will be collapsing in and on itself. The final moments of the ZOWIE Divina tournament, and this is so exciting. This is what we as spectators are hoping for every time we see a PUBG match.
Interesting position that Gucci is in. I don't believe she's going to be able to get out of the quarry. She might be dead in the water here and relying on Tume and Shiyu to potentially take each other out. She does not know potentially that they're alive, but moving on, the nades are raining in. Everyone trying to find a way to get within that circle on the outside, looking in. An absolutely amazing nade.
That was Mamataso. She saw the Molotov bottles being thrown, giving away the location of Two Mind, now leaving us with just 4 players remaining. Shiyu still prepped and ready on the opposite end of the wall of Eto, but Eto going to be popping up. She knows exactly where Shiyu is. Shiyu pops up as well, and it's going to be Eto with the M416 headshot, taking out Shiyu in 4th position. Top 3 now remaining, a 1v1v1 situation. Miss Gucci is alive, spots out Eto, going to be spraying her down. A 1v1. Miss Gucci trying to repeat another victory for North America.
Gucci's in a position where she's able to get up, but we got Mamatazu who has the advantage in position, has the high ground, and Miss Gucci potentially needs to go to her. So this is going to be tricky for her to win, and this is going to be huge for Miss Gucci because she is in striking distance of getting out of that 5th to 8th range in the rankings to get that nice jump and some much needed cash. She is going to want this win and join that 3-win club.
Absolutely. As we see, Miss Gucci is completely cut off from any way of getting up onto the high ground, but it now comes down to how close to center can you be before you start taking that blue zone chunk damage here in phase number 9, the ultimate phase of the ultimate game here for the ZOWIE Divina tournament. Grenades now going to be raining down from up above, dropping Miss Gucci down to about 20 HP as she continues to look up, trying to spot out the head of Mamataso. She's not able to do so just yet, and Mamataso knows full well as long as she holds this center ground, she will be walking away with the chicken dinner. The final game of the tournament will be going to Mamataso if she plays this right. She can't peek too aggressively, but she's going to be going over. She wants the kill. She doesn't want Miss Gucci to go out to the blue zone, but continues to look on. It's only a matter of seconds before Miss Gucci will be going down to the blue zone herself. It's creeping up on her back. She's trying to go up the slope, but down goes Miss Gucci, and the final win of the day going over to Mamataso here in game number 15.
A little bit anticlimactic, but finally we got Sunny now, who had a bunch of wins in this tournament so far. Her teammate now in the duos, finding her first individual solo win in this tournament is great for her. Only 2 kills in the game, but again, you want to end the tournament on a good note. Great play from her, very smart and very patient.
Not only was Mamataso the winner along with Sunny of the duo show match in the very beginning, she was also the one who killed Sunny this game.
That she was.
Oh, I did not even notice that. Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Friends finally at the very end do become bitter enemies, and she's the one that killed Sunny's run so early on. We were building up this final game as a big match between the top 3 players, and it really didn't work out very well for Sunny or Ting.
No, it didn't, and it really opened up the window for Majesty Charlie to kind of play it safe. Like Garrett said, get those placement points. That's where the bulk of your points are going to come from, and play just absolutely incredibly smart.
We also finally got your wish. The circle was finally down to the southeast, kind of.
And someone went dogs,
Close
too.
enough.
And so we've seen dogs a few times, a couple of times. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
It was a twofer for Garrett.
Yes.
Sure, it was.
Very happy.
Yeah. It didn't fully commit down to the Docks Peninsula, but it was close enough, I suppose.
Cave was in play long enough for me to be happy.
All right. But the fact that the circle ended up on Quarry. Quarry isn't really a part of the map that we've talked about a lot because it hasn't been in play that much, but it is probably one of the most dynamic parts of the map. Esquire, when you get a game that ends with that part of the map, like such heavy presence inside, how does that affect your play?
I mean, it affects it a lot. It makes you kind of put all your eggs in one basket, so to say. Like we saw Miss Gucci, there wasn't anywhere for her to maneuver around that. Unfortunately, the blue zone had collapsed around those ramps that allow you to exit out of Corey, and it really came down to Mamotaso's position up on top. But what I liked about that was it didn't stop Mamotaso from playing aggressively. She didn't sit back and wait for the blue zone. She was taking those very, very aggressive peaks, which could have gone the way of Miss Gucci if she got the one tap.
Yeah, which is why I was gritting my teeth the entire time I was watching that, because at that point, like, she had it in the bag.
It was guaranteed.
Here's the highlight reel right now. CC getting the second kill of the match.
Nice play coming out right here on the first floor of boot camp. Such an aggressive game played out from some of our competitors here in the early moments of game number 5, game number 15.
I got a little big will. Again, it's just unfortunate event for her. She actually put on a really big show during the duos match, but just never was able to get anything rolling. And not surprisingly, she was one of the mini players who was upset at the slow and safe play. I want to talk about this play real quick, though, because even though the door opened and Miss Gucci, she didn't move at all. That's because she wanted to make sure that she had her eyes on any position that she could get peeked from. It is likely when you're in that position that someone opens the door, doesn't immediately run in because they're using that to bait. They run around and look through the window. So Gucci was actually playing that very intelligently, waiting to flick on any angle, because there were 2 windows as well as the door entrance for possibilities of where the opponent would be coming from.
Yeah, we saw a lot of the Asian players do that, where they opened the door and jumped across and spotted. I think it was CC in particular who did it the most. It was what she would do in determining if you wanted to enter or not. That's a smart play to do as well. And again, if you're going to play a tight corner, there's no way to properly spot that unless you jump and peek over the windows.
Yeah, absolutely well played by Miss Gucci in that setting. But Majesty Charlie, we've seen highlight after highlight from these replays. She was able to do so much here, and now we look at the setting for the final moments of this game. The Corey, such a tough area to maneuver around.
Chumai, I want to give her props. I did kind of throw her under the bus earlier by
I joined you on that,
essentially making her out to be one of the loudest members of the stay quiet and hide under a rock community. But this game, she got, what, like 6 kills? And actually, I spotted out last game that she actually was able to get a fair number of kills as well. So even though she was playing it very slow and safe, she was also, like, still had the gun skills to utilize when put in that situation.
Ooh, I love how Miss Gucci was able to come up there. She knew that the players were distracted and was able to pick up the kill, at least securing her that second place position.
Question, why didn't she continue up that ramp?
Yeah,
that is the question.
That was the moment to throw that game. Mamotaso almost threw it back in return by over-peeking over that. But honestly, that was probably the biggest single mistake I've seen anyone play in the late game phase of just not going up that ramp. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt and say that it was because of nerves. And just like, you were just in a gunfight. I want to pull back, expecting, obviously, the third party to immediately pounce on it, because that's usually what someone would do in that situation. But it ultimately cut off any sort of area of exit.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, PUBG, it's a game of seconds right there, and that's what Miss Gucci was working off of. She had to make the split-second decision. Unfortunately, it didn't pan out. Had she gone up, likely could have even closed out the game with a chicken dinner.
Yeah, what I was going to bring up. Oh, I'll tell you later.
The final round, Mamotaso from Japan took the round. Please say hi to everyone.
自分紹介をしてください。
サンシスターのストリーマー部門の豆タソです。
那这边呢，我们想要了解一下，就是在最后一个决胜关头的时候，他是怎么判断这个敌人的位置呢
？In the final moments of the match, how did you manage to figure out your opponent's position?
相手のいる場所はわかるの
2キル目のことですよね。2キル目は火炎瓶投げられて。で投げた方向を確認してそこに向かってグレーを投げたって感じですね。
最后是根据他们留下那些就是燃烧弹的位置，然后最后确定了那个人。
It was from the incendiary grenades used.
好的，那我们看到 Mamotaso 在第一天双盘的比赛呢，也是取得了冠军。
You successfully took the dual match.
最后一天最后一场也是顺利吃鸡了。
And you also managed to win, get yourself a chicken dinner on the final day of the event.
深刻的是哪一部分呢？
So what left you the most impression throughout this event?
大会で一番忘れないことは何ですか？
4ラウンド目にちょっとドンカツ目前だったのにそれを逃してしまったことですかね。
令我最难忘的是就是这个
The
以
thing I
成绩
just
为目
couldn't
标
forget
然后不断努力，不断最
is
后拿到
throughout this
这个
tournament,
成绩
I've been working really hard to get this chicken dinner.
Congratulations！
Thank you。
那我们这边呢就把现场交还给解说老师。
Let's throw it back to the panel.
A very good win, very successful win. I don't think it'll be enough to really net her a top spot. Namataso is one of the players who had really been struggling throughout this event, even after putting on a good show during the duos tournament. But naturally, it's got to feel great to end on probably the highest note you could end on, which is a victory.
Yeah, we talked about some players, right? Their goals shifted from top 8 to really just going out with a bang, and I can't think of a better way to do it than what Mamatasa was able to pull off there. But I also liked what she said. She was able to spot out some of those players in the final few moments because of those incendiary grenades, the Molotovs here in PUBG. Great use of awareness there in the final moments.
I mean, you got to be aware when there's flames right in front of your face. It's it's hard to not notice them or notice where they came from necessarily. And a very nice counter grenade in return, though. It was almost right on top of, I believe that was Tume.
Oh yeah, literally right under her belly. Yeah,
it's also big for her as well, coming from the duo tournament win with Sunny. The fact that in the solo she wasn't playing to as well as she could have. To finally get that chicken dinner at the very end has got to be something to hold on to and be proud of.
Let's we can't assume too much. We're not math wizards. We're not computers we're not computers encased inside flesh. So we don't know for sure who exactly won this event. We do know that it has got to be between either Sunny or Charlie. I think it's safe to say that Ting is out of it. She was needing a good game, a really good game, depending on how Charlie or Sunny did, to really take the first place spot, which unfortunately wasn't the case. She was taken out by Dabby Young early, but between Sunny and Charlie, Sunny had the lead, but Charlie had the better performance this time around. It's going to be close, but either way, both of these players, all those top 3 players, and even throwing Lizzie in there, who is really kind of like making us look at her, forcing us to look at her in some ways in the end, have got to be proud of their performance there. And any of them, they all deserve the position in the top spot.
Yeah. So outside of today, where Ting played absolutely out of her mind, the 2 players in this tournament that were like the stars that were just completely outclassing the rest of the field was going to be Sunny and Charlie. And again, it was fitting to come down to the very last game. So when you have 15 games, it's hard to have those things where it comes down to that very last game, who's going to win and who's going to position themselves in the chance to get the chicken dinner, whatever it may be. So it was cool to come down to the wire. And unfortunately, they went out relatively early, and Charlie, playing uncharacteristic like she does, she ended up playing passive, which is, you saw her running away from fights, which is unusual, and in the end might have been just what she needed in order to get the win.
Yeah, she also had to run from some really tricky situations. There was one that she was caught between 2 or even 3 rifles at one point, crossing a road. The fact that she was able to get out of that, get a kill, and then bounce back, continuing into the circle, because the blue is still at her back. Remember, she's not like Sunny or Miss Gucci, who she tries to play center. She is one of the ones who is next to the blue because that's where she gets all of her kills.
Yeah.
The fact that she was able to get out of that situation, absolutely ridiculous. Amazing show, and that was one of many, I guess, performances by her to really prove that she deserves her spot in the top.
I mean, Sanson almost took her out right there. If it weren't just for like 1 second, a split second, maybe even less, that Majesty Charlie was able to get behind the rock to cover, she would have gone out, and it would have been at the hands of Sanson. So absolutely insane.
Well, I believe the time of waiting is up. The scores have been calculated. So in just a few more seconds, we are going to be throwing it down to the stage to crown the winner of the first ever ZOWIE DIVINA Women's PUBG Invitational. Not quite yet, still waiting.
It will happen. We can promise you that. It will happen.
Yep, we can promise you that. But I mean, guys, nonetheless, let's give a big congratulations to all of our 48 competitors coming from around the globe, representing their respective regions and doing it very well on this grand stage.
Yeah, there wasn't a single region here that wasn't represented to like the top caliber. Every single person, top to bottom, top position.
Yeah, you saw the skill displayed, and all right.
好的，非常的开心，我们3天单排的比赛到这里即将就要告一段落了，来到最后的颁奖时刻，这边呢我们也要公布最终比赛的结果。Now it's time to announce the result. The third place goes to MDY Team， 恭喜来自于 MDY 战队的婷婷，在这一次的比赛获得了第3名的好成绩。有请婷婷来到台前 ，Congratulations！ 哇，婷婷啊，我知道，其实此时此刻心里是喜忧参半的，对不对？其实还是蛮开心，参加了这次比赛，进入了前3名，但是感觉就那么一步之遥。此时此刻有没有什么话想跟支持你的粉丝说的呢
Your feelings must be really mixed right now. What would you like to say to your fans? Thank you everyone for supporting me for the past 3 days. I love you guys.
再一次恭喜婷婷，我觉得这一次婷婷也是有很多出色的发挥。
You've had some amazing performances during this tournament, and congratulations one more time.
恭喜！好的，恭喜婷婷喽。那接下来呢，我们要颁发的是第2名。
We're going to present the award for second place.
稍移动一步了。The runner goes to MSB Sunny， 恭喜 Sunny！
Congratulations, Sunny.
有请 Sunny 来到我们的舞台前。
Please come towards the front of the stage.
哇 ，Sunny， 好，我先帮你戴一下。
Let me put it on for you.
好。这一次呢，我们看到 Sunny 其实从第一天双排的比赛到接下来3天单排的比赛，一直都是名列前茅，有很出色的发挥哦。那到最后一天，感觉是有点紧张。
Were you a little bit nervous today?
状态不好。最后一天呢，就感觉没有发挥出自己最好的状态，但还是获得了第2名的好成绩。
But you still managed to get second place.
来，请先稍
So congratulations one more time.
好的，马上我们就要公布在这一次 ZOWIE DIVINA 获得冠军好成绩的选手是来自于德国的选手 Majesty Charlie。
Majesty Charlie.
Congratulations! Wow! Here she comes, the champion. Congratulations. Okay, please. Hold your trophy with your both of your hands. It's very heavy. Wow! Wow! Congratulations. 好的，那这边呢，我们也是想要了解一下，就是 Charlie 此时此刻的心情哦。What is your favorite part of the whole tournament?
Just to meet new friends, all other girls, and to win the tournament.
好的，他说这一次呢，来到这边的进行这个比赛，认识了很多的新朋友，那也充分了享受这个比赛的过程，这是他对于这一次比赛最开心的地方了。Let's take a picture together, OK？ 那 Sunny 呢，请站到左侧。Sunny 来，请站到左侧。好的，婷婷站在这边。那我们也邀请现场的媒体朋友，赶快为我们捕捉这个珍贵的画面。再次恭喜 Majesty Charlie 获得了本届的冠军，也恭喜 MSB Sunny 在这一次的比赛获得亚军的好成绩。MDY 的婷婷在这一次获得了季军的好成绩，恭喜 ZOWIE DIVINA 第1届的绝地求生国际女子邀请赛到这里即将要告一段落了。那这边也感谢所有观众朋友的收看，谢谢你们，我们下次再见喽，拜拜。